In life, the pursuit of goals often feels like an uphill battle. It's as though every step forward is met with 2 steps back. But have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve everything they set their minds to while others struggle endlessly? What is the secret behind their relentless drive? It's not about raw talent or the right opportunities. It's about forcing yourself to push through the obstacles, the doubts, and the moments of weakness. Achieving goals requires more than just a desire for success. It demands unwavering commitment, fierce discipline, and a mindset that refuses to back down. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike, but rather about taking control, demanding the best from yourself, and keeping your eye on the prize no matter how difficult the journey becomes. You might be thinking, but how can I keep going when the world seems against me? How can I push through when every part of me wants to quit? These are the questions we all face in our moments of doubt. The truth is, you must learn to force yourself to keep moving forward. And when the world tries to stop you, when the people around you doubt your capabilities, when the fear of failure creeps in like an insidious shadow, that's when you must force yourself to take the next step. Whether you believe it or not, each and every one of us has an inner strength that lies dormant, waiting to be awakened. But it's up to you to unlock it. The challenge with achieving goals isn't just about setting them. It's about consistently showing up for them. Too often we fall victim to the notion that success will happen on its own, that one day we'll just wake up and everything will fall into place. That's the fairy tale we want to believe, but reality is far different. The road to success is a path paved with sweat, tears, and plenty of setbacks. But those setbacks, my friend, are not the end of the journey. They are the moments where you must rise again, when you have to dust yourself off and force yourself to keep going. That is the true test of strength. Not in the moments of victory, but in the battles we face along the way. It's easy to look at successful people and think that they have it all together. They must have been born lucky, we tell ourselves. But the truth is, success doesn't come from luck or good fortune. It comes from an unshakable belief in yourself, even when everyone around you tells you that your dreams are impossible. It comes from the determination to rise above the doubt, the criticism, and the fear that tries to hold you back. Yes, it's hard. Yes, there will be times when you feel like giving up, but that's exactly when you need to force yourself to push forward. Because the most successful people in the world are not the ones who never failed, they're the ones who never gave up. If you're still uncertain about how to summon this kind of strength, let's break it down. First, you need to recognize that the mind is an incredibly powerful force. The thoughts you allow to dominate your mind can either propel you forward or drag you down. When you set a goal, your mind will naturally throw up resistance. It will make you question your abilities, suggest that your goal is unrealistic, and tell you that it's just too hard. But you must understand that this resistance is normal. It's a natural response to the discomfort that comes with growth. The key is to force yourself to confront these thoughts head-on and refuse to let them dictate your actions. Psychologically speaking, the process of forcing yourself to achieve your goals comes down to building a mental fortress. This means fortifying your mind against negativity and doubt. Every time you hear that voice telling you to quit, you must replace it with a stronger, more empowering thought. It's about creating a mental landscape where no matter how hard the path gets, you still believe in your ability to succeed. When you train your mind to stay focused on the outcome, even in the face of difficulty, you unlock an entirely new level of strength and perseverance. And that strength will carry you through even the toughest of times. However, forcing yourself to achieve goals also requires a level of emotional intelligence. It's about recognizing that emotions, while powerful, are not always reliable guides. There will be days when you feel tired, defeated, or overwhelmed. But it's crucial to remember that feelings are fleeting. Your emotions will come and go, but the commitment to your goals must remain constant. On those days when it feels like your heart isn't in it, that's when you need to dig deeper and remind yourself why you started. The emotional pain of doubt and fatigue will eventually fade, but the results of your hard work will last a lifetime. One of the most powerful ways to force yourself toward your goals is through consistency. Even when you don't feel like it, even when you're exhausted, even when the world seems to be conspiring against you, you must continue to show up. Success is not an overnight phenomenon. It is the culmination of consistent effort, small wins, and unyielding determination. The more consistently you force yourself to take action, the more momentum you build, and soon that momentum will carry you through even the most difficult times. It's also essential to remember that failure is not the end. Far too many people quit when they encounter their first major setback, believing that failure means they're not cut out for success. But failure is not a reflection of your abilities. It's simply a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Every failure teaches you something valuable, and every time you pick yourself up after a fall, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So instead of fearing failure, embrace it as a necessary part of the journey. And when failure knocks on your door, force yourself to answer with the determination to learn, grow, and continue moving forward. In conclusion, the key to achieving your goals lies not in waiting for the perfect moment or the right motivation, but in forcing yourself to take consistent action despite the obstacles in your way. Yes, it's tough. Yes, there will be days when you feel like giving up. But when you force yourself to keep going, when you push through the doubt and the fear, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. The world belongs to those who are willing to do whatever it takes to make their dreams a reality. So ask yourself, are you ready to force yourself to achieve your goals? Because the only thing standing between you and success is your own willingness to keep going. Have you ever felt like you're standing on the edge of your goals, staring at them but unable to take the next step? It's almost as if there's an invisible barrier holding you back from reaching what you know is within your grasp. But here's the harsh truth. The fears, doubts, and insecurities that keep you from moving forward are nothing more than illusions. Your mind, in its desire to protect you from discomfort, tries to convince you that the path ahead is too risky, too hard, too uncertain. But let's face it, if you want to achieve something great, you must push through those barriers. Every time you resist the urge to quit and force yourself to move forward, you shatter a piece of that invisible wall. The more you force yourself, the more powerful you become. Now, I know you might be thinking, but what if I fail? What if I give everything and it doesn't work? The fear of failure is one of the most paralyzing forces we face when pursuing our dreams. And yes, failure is a very real possibility. But here's the thing, failure is not the enemy. In fact, it's your greatest ally. Failure teaches you more than success ever will. Every time you fail, you learn something new about yourself. You discover your weaknesses, refine your approach, and come back stronger. In the grand scheme of things, failure isn't a setback, it's a necessary part of the process. If you want to avoid failure, you'll never make any progress. But if you embrace it, use it as fuel, you'll be unstoppable. When you're struggling to achieve your goals, it's easy to feel isolated. It's as if no one understands what you're going through. No one can relate to the pain and frustration you're experiencing. But the truth is, you're not alone. Everyone who has ever achieved anything worthwhile has faced the same doubts, fears, and setbacks. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is their willingness to keep going despite it all. Success isn't a result of being perfect. It's the result of showing up even when you feel like giving up. Every time you choose to continue, every time you force yourself to push through the challenges, you're one step closer to achieving your dreams. You might be wondering how to make this mindset shift. How do you stop seeing failure as the end and start seeing it as part of your journey? Well, the first thing you must do is reframe your perspective. Instead of viewing obstacles as roadblocks, see them as opportunities to grow. Instead of looking at failure as something to be feared, view it as feedback. Every failure provides valuable insights that you can use to improve. Remember, no one becomes successful without experiencing failure. It's how you respond to failure that determines your future success. Will you let it break you, or will you rise stronger and more determined than ever? But here's the thing, even with all the knowledge about failure, it's still difficult to keep going when the going gets tough. There will be times when you're overwhelmed, when it feels like nothing is going right, and the path ahead seems impossibly long. In these moments, you have to dig deep. You have to force yourself to take the next step, even when it feels like there's no reason to keep moving forward. It's in those moments that your true strength is tested. The ability to keep going when everything within you is screaming to stop, that's where the magic happens. When you force yourself to continue in the face of adversity, you're building resilience, fortitude, and the mental toughness required to achieve greatness. Let's talk about commitment for a moment. There's a massive difference between saying you want to achieve a goal and actually committing to it. It's easy to dream, to talk about your goals, and to make resolutions. But how many people follow through? How many people stay committed when the going gets tough? Very few. Achieving goals isn't about the motivation you feel at the beginning. It's about the commitment to continue even when the initial excitement fades. Motivation will come and go, but commitment is what keeps you moving forward. You have to commit to your goals no matter what. When you commit, you stop asking what if I fail, and start asking what if I succeed. That shift in mindset is everything. When you commit to achieving your goals, it means forcing yourself to do the things that others are unwilling to do. It means putting in the hard work when you'd rather rest, staying focused when distractions tempt you, and sticking to your plan when doubt starts to creep in. It's the ability to push through the pain, the tiredness, and the moments of uncertainty that will ultimately determine your success. Commitment isn't a passive state. It's an active choice that you must make every single day. And with each decision to stay committed, you get one step closer to achieving your dream. This is where the concept of self-discipline comes in. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of achieving anything worthwhile in life. Without it, goals remain nothing more than dreams. Self-discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about forcing yourself to take action even on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. This kind of discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you build over time. Every time you make the decision to keep going, to push through the discomfort, you're strengthening your self-discipline. And the more disciplined you become, the more likely you are to achieve your goals. The truth is, there is no shortcut to success. No matter what goals you have, whether they're related to your career, health, relationships, or personal growth, there's no easy way to get there. Achieving anything of value requires hard work, perseverance, and a relentless commitment to your goals. The journey is long, and it will test you in ways you never imagined. But if you are willing to force yourself to keep moving forward, despite the challenges, despite the doubts, you will eventually reach your destination. The key is to never stop moving, to never let obstacles define you, and to always force yourself to take the next step, no matter how hard it may seem. And let's not forget the power of accountability. When you force yourself to achieve your goals, it's not enough to simply rely on your own willpower. You need people around you who will push you, who will hold you accountable, and who will remind you of your commitment when you start to waver. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals is one of the most effective ways to stay on track. Find a mentor, a coach, or a friend who believes in your goals as much as you do. Their support can make all the difference when you're struggling to keep going. In conclusion, forcing yourself to achieve your goals is about far more than just pushing through the tough times. It's about cultivating the mindset, the discipline, and the resilience required to stay committed to your dreams no matter what. It's about understanding that success isn't just about talent. It's about the willingness to keep going when it feels like everything is against you. So ask yourself again, are you ready to force yourself to take the next step? Because your goals are within reach, but only if you're willing to push past the doubt, the fear, and the obstacles standing in your way. So, let me ask you something. How many times have you started something full of excitement and energy, only to see the drive fizzle out when things got tough? We've all been there. At the beginning of any goal, it's easy to be motivated. You're enthusiastic, filled with optimism, and believe that this time you're really going to make it happen. But what happens when the road gets rocky, when progress slows down, or when you face failure? That's when most people stop. That's when they give up, thinking that their dreams are too far out of reach. But here's the thing, it's precisely when things get tough that you need to force yourself to keep going. When the initial excitement fades and the challenge becomes real, that's when your commitment is truly tested. And this is where true success is born. When you force yourself to achieve your goals, you're not relying on the highs of motivation or the fleeting feelings of excitement. You're relying on something much stronger, discipline. Motivation is like the fuel in a car. It's great to have, but it won't get you far on its own. Discipline, on the other hand, is like the engine that keeps the car running, even when the tank is empty. It's the steady, consistent drive that gets you through the long, hard stretches of the journey. And here's the most important part. Discipline is something you have to develop. It doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly doesn't happen just because you want it to. You have to force yourself to practice it every single day, even when you don't feel like it. At some point, you will come face to face with the question of whether or not your goals are worth the effort. You'll be tempted to quit, to take the easier route, to choose comfort over challenge. But this is the defining moment, the point where you have to force yourself to stay on course. Ask yourself, why did you start in the first place? What is the real reason you want to achieve this goal? The deeper your reason, the more powerful your commitment will be. When you're clear about why your goal matters to you, the difficult moments become more manageable. Every obstacle, every setback, every failure becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, to learn, and to push yourself harder. Let's take a moment to talk about discomfort. Achieving anything significant requires stepping out of your comfort zone. And let's be honest, that's terrifying. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, and sometimes it feels like you're walking into the unknown. But do you know what's even more uncomfortable? Staying where you are, stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, never challenging yourself, never growing, and never reaching your potential. You see, growth happens only in the moments when you push yourself beyond what feels easy. You'll never achieve your goals by staying in your comfort zone. If you want to accomplish anything extraordinary, you have to embrace the discomfort, the struggle, and the challenges that come with it. Psychologically, forcing yourself to achieve your goals is about mastering your emotions. It's so easy to be motivated when everything is going well, when the path ahead is clear, and when success seems within reach. But what about when the path gets murky, when things don't go as planned, and when you feel like quitting? This is when your emotional strength is tested. Emotions can be incredibly powerful, but they can also be misleading. There will be days when you feel like you're not good enough, when doubt creeps in and whispers in your ear that you're not cut out for this. In those moments, you have to recognize that your feelings are not facts. Just because you feel defeated doesn't mean you are defeated. Just because you feel tired doesn't mean you're not capable of finishing the race. To achieve your goals, you need to master your emotions, not let them master you. This brings us to the concept of mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to stay focused, determined, and resilient no matter what comes your way. It's the inner strength that allows you to face adversity head-on, without letting it stop you in your tracks. If you want to achieve your goals, you need to develop this mental toughness. The good news is, mental toughness isn't something you're born with, it's something you can build. Every time you force yourself to move forward, even when you feel like stopping, you're building mental toughness. Every time you refuse to give in to fear or doubt, you're strengthening your mind. And over time, that mental toughness will become your greatest ally in the pursuit of your dreams. One of the biggest challenges in forcing yourself to achieve your goals is staying consistent. It's easy to be motivated at the start, but how do you keep going when motivation starts to wane? The answer is simple: habits. Habits are the foundation of success. They are the small daily actions that build up over time to create massive results. When you establish good habits and routines, you don't have to rely on motivation to push you forward. Your habits will do the work for you. And let me tell you, the more you force yourself to stick to those habits, the more automatic they will become. You won't even have to think twice about it. It will just become part of who you are. Consistency is about showing up, even when it feels like nothing is changing, even when you don't see immediate results. It's about trusting the process, even when the rewards feel far away. The truth is, success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of thousands of small decisions, actions, and moments of commitment that add up over time. And those who succeed are the ones who keep showing up, day in and day out, even when they don't feel like it. So if you want to achieve your goals, you have to make the choice every day to keep going. Force yourself to do the work, even when it seems pointless. Eventually, those small efforts will pay off in ways you never imagined. Another key component in forcing yourself to achieve your goals is surrounding yourself with the right people. It's crucial to have a support system. People who believe in your goals, encourage you when you're feeling low, and push you when you're ready to quit. But, just as importantly, it's also essential to eliminate the toxic influences in your life. Negative people, naysayers, and energy-draining individuals can sabotage your efforts without you even realizing it. You need to distance yourself from anything that drags you down and seek out relationships that lift you up. When you surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and believe in you, your path to success becomes much clearer. Lastly, let's talk about perseverance. Perseverance is the ability to keep going, no matter how long it takes or how many obstacles you face. It's the relentless pursuit of your goal, no matter what. And the best part, perseverance can be learned. It's a skill, one that grows stronger the more you practice it. Every time you face adversity and choose to push through, your perseverance muscles grow stronger. The more you force yourself to keep going, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. It's the ultimate game changer. So, what does all this mean for you? It means that if you want to achieve your goals, you have to be willing to push yourself past the point of comfort, past the point of doubt, and into the realm of mental toughness, consistency, and perseverance. It means making the choice every day to force yourself to take action, even when you don't feel like it. Success is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to force themselves through the struggles and keep moving forward, no matter what. Now let's get real for a moment. Have you ever caught yourself comparing your journey to someone else's? It's easy to look at the success of others and feel like you're falling behind. You might think they have it all together, or they started before me, and it's tempting to believe that maybe their success was just luck. But let me tell you something important. Luck has nothing to do with it. The truth is, every person who has achieved something great has faced the same battles that you are facing right now. They've encountered obstacles, felt defeated, and wondered if they should quit. The difference between them and those who give up is simple. They forced themselves to keep going. Every time they wanted to stop, they pushed harder. Every time they faced failure, they saw it as a lesson. They didn't quit, they kept showing up. The point I'm making here is that the road to success is never smooth. You will face doubt, resistance, and setbacks. But that's where the power of forcing yourself to keep going comes into play. When you force yourself to take that next step, even when you're uncertain, you build momentum. And momentum is a powerful force that can carry you through the hardest of times. The more you force yourself to keep going, the more natural it becomes. You begin to build a habit of perseverance, a mindset that says, no matter how difficult this gets, I will not stop. And over time, that mindset transforms into a level of strength that cannot be broken. But here's the catch. This journey will require more from you than just physical effort. It will challenge you emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. It will force you to confront your weaknesses, your fears, and your insecurities. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. But think about this, nothing worth having comes easily. The best things in life are the ones you have to fight for. The ones that require you to stretch, to break, and to rebuild yourself. The process of forcing yourself to grow, to overcome challenges, and to push through the pain is exactly what prepares you for the success that awaits on the other side. There's another crucial aspect to this process that you need to understand. Self-doubt. It will come, it always does. You'll wonder if you're capable of achieving your goals, and you'll question whether your dreams are worth pursuing. But let me tell you something. Self-doubt is not your enemy. In fact, it's a sign that you're on the right path. Every time you feel doubt creeping in, it's because you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. You're challenging yourself to do something you've never done before. If you didn't experience self-doubt, you wouldn't be growing. Embrace it, welcome it, and use it as a sign that you are heading in the right direction. It's only when you face that doubt and force yourself to keep going that you unlock the true potential of your goals. So how do you deal with self-doubt when it comes knocking on your door? First, recognize that doubt is just a feeling, not a fact. Your doubts are based on the idea that you're not capable, that you can't do this. But that's not true. Every doubt you have is an opportunity to prove yourself wrong. When you push past that feeling of uncertainty, you'll find that you're much stronger than you initially thought. Every time you force yourself to take action, even when you feel like you're not ready, you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals. And that brings us to something else that's crucial to this journey, the importance of small victories. When you're working toward a big goal, it can be overwhelming to think about how much effort it will take to achieve it. The mountain seems too high to climb, the task too big to accomplish. But here's the secret. Break it down into small, manageable steps. Every small victory, every little win along the way adds up and keeps you moving forward. These small wins are like fuel for your motivation. They remind you that progress is being made, even if it's slower than you would like. Celebrate each step, no matter how small, because each one is bringing you closer to your ultimate goal. Now let's talk about the importance of focusing on the process, not just the outcome. It's so easy to get fixated on the end result, to become consumed with the idea of achieving your goal. But if you only focus on the destination, you might miss the beauty of the journey itself. The process of working toward your goal, the ups and downs, the struggles and the triumphs, that's where the real growth happens. When you force yourself to focus on the process, you shift your mindset from one of impatience to one of appreciation. You begin to see value in the struggle, knowing that every challenge you face is an opportunity to become better, stronger, and more resilient. A key part of forcing yourself to achieve your goals is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth and comfort do not coexist. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, you have to be willing to step into the unknown, to take risks, and to face discomfort head-on. Discomfort is a sign that you're stretching beyond your limits. It's a signal that you're growing. So the next time you feel that discomfort creeping in, don't run from it. Instead, lean into it, embrace it, and recognize it as the necessary companion on your journey towards success. The more comfortable you get with discomfort, the easier it will become to push through even the toughest situations. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in this journey is patience. This is a long game. Success doesn't happen overnight, and the road to achieving your goals can often feel like an endless stretch of time. But it's during this time that the most important work is done.